Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Superintendent Purporis, and District Treasurer, Mr. Vassick. My name is Dr. Donisha Bailey, and I am honored to be the principal of Shoreview Elementary School. Mr. Johnson, assistant principal, and I will present tonight on behalf of our stellar school. Our mission is to educate all to be leaders of their lives, and we work to achieve our mission through our vision, which is to work together to provide a safe learning environment that achieves excellence. Tonight, we will be highlighting 3 areas of focus in an effort to show a snippet of what we do at Shoreview. Those areas of focus are climate, academics, and community. Mr. Johnson will now review the programs and resources that we use to build a positive school climate at Shoreview. This includes PBIS, responsive classroom, trauma-informed care that teachers were trained and completed, responsive classroom, and Peter James and Belfair to assist in behavior, health, and counseling.
It's hotter up here than it looks. At Shoreview, one of the ways that we work to build a positive school climate is through PBIS, positive behavior interventions and support. There are 3 tiers in PBIS. Tier 1 includes all students. Tier 2 is for select at-risk students, which is usually 10 to 20% of the student population. Tier 3 consists of targeted intensive intervention, which is typically 3 to 5% of student population. The Gold Medal Parade is a weekly event that highlights a student from each classroom who was respectful, responsible, and ready to learn all week. We also have Student of the Month, where students are able to bring a family member to a luncheon or breakfast. These are pictured from our best behavior bonuses throughout the year: Fall Festival, Glow Dance, Ornament and Cookie Decorating, and Valentine's Day themed best behavior bonus. One fundraiser from PBIS was our VIP lunch. Students were entered into a raffle, and if their name was picked, they were able to have lunch with the VIP that they chose. Responsive Classroom is an evidence-based approach to teaching that focuses on the strong link between academic success and social-emotional learning. At 8 a.m., the entire school engages in morning meeting, which is part of Responsive Classroom. Tier 2 interventions include check-ins and check-outs. Students work with a family liaison, Mr. Coppice, and students working with counselors from Peter James Behavior Health. Check-in and check-out is when a student chooses a mentor to check in with at the beginning of the day. They set a goal. Then they check out at the end of the day and reflect on their accomplishments or challenges. Additional Tier 2 supports include student groups that are facilitated by our family liaison, Zachary Coppice. Mr. K facilitates peer mediation groups. He provides social-emotional learning to students, which includes grief groups, self-regulation, and social groups. Mr. K also monitors attendance, and he writes attendance intervention plans for students who are chronically absent. Peter James is a behavioral health third-party resource that offers an extra layer of mental health and social-emotional learning and support for some of our most at-risk students. Our students work well with Ms. Araya and Mr. Williams. Students who are receiving Tier 3 interventions are not responding to Tier 1 and 2 supports and are in need of much more individualized support. Students who are in need of Tier 3 supports work with counselors from Belfair in intense one-on-one 30-minute sessions. Mr. Holcomb does an amazing job connecting our students and their families in the building and in the community. Because of the success of our implementation of PBIS, our behavior data shows our referrals are trending down. We have partnered with the Cleveland Browns to address a district-wide focus on improved attendance with our Stay in the Game campaign. Students are recognized monthly for having perfect attendance. They receive a certificate, prizes, as well as their pictures posted on our social media page. We also promote perfect attendance by dressing in our Browns gear each Monday of the football season. Now, Dr. Bailey will highlight academics in the way that we connect with the community.
At Shoreview, we pride ourselves on having academic excellence. Through explicit instruction, students learn reading skills through core knowledge language arts, writing skills through the writing revolution, as well as math, science, and social studies skills. The following slides showcase our students working hard in each of these areas. These are kindergartners partner reading and engaging in play-based learning in their castles, enjoying being kings and queens as they finish their CKLA units in reading class. These are first graders learning about phases of the moon while enjoying a sweet treat. We love making learning fun at Shoreview. These second graders are participating in reading groups. The other second grade students are using insect specimen kits to study characteristics and body parts of insects. These third graders are working hard in math class as they learn about area and perimeter. They love using markers on their desks as they solve their problems. These fourth grade students are working with partners to compare life on a manor to life in a medieval town during the Middle Ages. In grade 5, our students have the opportunity to visit the Media Center to gain experience in content creation. There were 3 different stations: gaming and live streaming, videography and photography, and podcasting. Thank you, Mr. Frieden. In honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, in art class, students had the opportunity to watch Dr. King's original speech and create a direct drawing of him. Students were inspired by Dr. King's messages, including "Let Freedom Ring" and "Free at Last." They also shared what that meant to them. We made history at Shoreview this year by hosting our inaugural Black History Tournament. During the last week of February, each classroom participated in semifinals in which students had to memorize and were quizzed on Black history facts. There were 1 to 2 student representatives from each classroom who earned certificates for being semifinalists. These 24 semifinalists competed in our Black History Tournament, and 6 students won an engraved trophy, 1 from each grade. Parents and members of the community were present for this all-school assembly. And here are more pictures from our tournament. Also, we have a focus on college and career readiness. Our school counselor, Mr. Cox, works with students to expose them to different careers. He has ensured that each student has a Zello profile, which is a software that engages students in college and career readiness. Students complete lessons and activities to help them discover relevant college, university, trade, career, and military options based on their personality, knowledge, and skills. At Shoreview, we also understand the importance of connecting with families in the community through productive and collaborative partnerships. These are pictures from our most recent PTA-sponsored event, our Valentine's Day dance. The first 105 students received a free Pop-It keychain. Students participated in a dance contest in which the top 3 contestants won a gift card. Parents attended and volunteered as well. Staff members also volunteered to assist in chaperoning the dance, running the concession stand, playing music, and taking pictures. The staff members who volunteered to assist with this successful event were teachers, our health monitor, our media tech assistant, and program assistants. Thank you to you all. You are greatly, greatly appreciated. On September 21st, 2023, Shoreview participated in the 18th annual Father's Day Walk. Fathers, male mentors, and their children were provided breakfast to show our appreciation. We had an amazing turnout. On Veterans Day, we had 2 assemblies, one for K through 2 students and one for grades 3 through 5. During the assembly, there were volunteers from 4 different families who spoke, and we also had volunteers from Cleveland State who spoke to our students, as well as our very own veterans, Mr. Coppice and Mr. Johnson. We also provided breakfast for our veterans. Clearview Community Church adopted our school. They provided 100 Thanksgiving baskets for 100 families at Shoreview and the Euclid community. Each of the 44 families from Shoreview who came to this evening event received a basket with Thanksgiving a meal for 10 people, as well as dessert. They did not want any pictures or publicity for this event, but we wanted to recognize Clearview to show our gratitude and to thank them for their support. Throughout the month of January, Shoreview students and staff, as well as Faith Community Worship Center, donated hats, gloves, scarves, and socks to families in need. They donated to our Shoreview Giving Tree. Thank you to everyone who donated. We truly appreciate your kindness and your giving spirit. And here is a video that Mr. Frieden made for us. This is our school year at a glance.
Is there something to take? Some pill I can try. I just wanna escape, at least for the night. All these pictures we take ain't nothing but lies. 'Cause this fire is fake, I'm burning inside. Oh yeah, I'm fine. On the outside, ain't that what it looks like? Ask me, I ain't got no problems, I ain't got a care in the world. Yeah, I'm so fine.
Our One School, One Book Family Engagement Night will be on Thursday, April 18th from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. Also, our Career Day will be Thursday, May 16th, so make sure you all save the date for these upcoming events. All in all, Shoreview will continue to work toward building a positive school climate, achieving academic excellence and social emotional learning, as well as collaborating and partnering with the community. This concludes our presentation, and we will now take questions and comments.
We'll start over there with Mrs. Toros.
Thank you. Always an excellent presentation. I love the Panther spirit wear. That's like one of my, I really, really love these evenings where we get to celebrate our students. Looking out on this crowd of teachers and families and community members is my favorite part of this job. So thank you all very much. The presentation was awesome. I loved hearing about your PBIS, and I think this is one of the first times that we've seen the percentage of students that are receiving each level of support, and the explanation that you offered around those levels of support. That was really helpful for people who aren't familiar with PBIS. So thank you for taking the time to do that. I also really enjoyed hearing more about responsive classroom, and we hear about it a lot, but we don't always get it explained in layman's terms as to what it is. Could you say a little bit more for family members about the process of responsive classroom?
Yes, responsive classroom is a training that our teachers go through when they come to the Euclid district, and it's basically to provide a positive and engaging classroom for our students. So one of the ways that we implement responsive classroom every day at Shoreview, as Mr. Johnson stated, is at 8 a.m. everyone has their morning meeting. So that's about 15 to 20 minutes, and there's 3 parts to that. So they do some kind of a greeting, so they might get in a circle, do a fist bump or a slap and slide or some kind of way where they learn those social skills as well. So they look in each other's eyes, they greet one another, and then there's an activity and then a morning message. So the teacher will have a message up just greeting them, giving them some encouragement for the day.
Thank you. And finally, I love the idea of the check-in and check-out. I feel like everyone could use that opportunity to touch base with someone who cares about them at the beginning of the day and say, here's one thing I'd like to get done today. So I really am excited to think about our students doing that. I feel like I could do that with my children.
awesome presentation. I loved it. I really enjoyed the video. That was really cool, and it really did give us a glance of your year. That was very nice. Just some highlights for me in addition to everything that Mrs. Toros already said. I love the gold medal parade that each class gets to get recognized regularly. And I really loved how you highlighted that for your tier 3 students, how they're getting that one-on-one. I think you said it was 30 minutes. I love it. I love that regardless of whatever other services they're receiving, we know that at least at one point during the week, they're gonna get some services. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Mr. Butsky?
Yeah, just first of all, of course, thank you for the presentation. I also really enjoyed the video, getting to see in motion how the school is functioning, all these things going on. It's very lovely to see, so thank you. I actually also wanted to touch on the PBIS and the effects on behavioral issues and whatnot. I was happy to see the downward trend with referral data. I was actually just wanting to touch on that and just saying, or ask, you would say that the PBIS practices had an overwhelming positive effect on that, if I could ask about that a little bit more.
Yes, so we implement PBIS with Fidelity. So every week with the Gold Medal Parade, we recognize our students. Every month with student of the month, breakfast or luncheon. Every semi-quarterly with our best behavior bonuses. So sometimes that might be a glow dance. Sometimes that might be an activity in the classroom. So yeah, we also have a parent on our PBIS committee, so we meet monthly. And then we also have the Tier 2 committee for PBIS, our Building Climate Committee, which really focuses on our at-risk students and our behavior data.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'm excited to see that it's having a great effect on the school zone.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Dr. Bailey and Mr. Johnson.
Hi.
So I am just going to comment on your investment in trauma-informed practice for your staff. I think that is a vital step towards educating students from various backgrounds. So I'm very proud of you all for doing that, and I'm interested in seeing the outcome of that investment. And then I also want to say that I was pleased with all the hands-on learning that you're doing in your classrooms. So great job to that.
Thank you.
And then in addition to everything everyone else on the board would say is, I really liked your inaugural Black History Tournament. I think that making learning fun and rewarding the students for learning information that I think is vital for them to learn, particularly with the demographics of our district, is very important. And I'm glad that you found a way to recognize that.
Thank you.
I'm going to say just a few things, and I think we also have after we're done here, we'll recognize some other children that may have come in. But I do want to say a few things about the work. Again, PBIS was recognized by just about everyone up here. The morning meeting is a clear example of what happens in our schools, that this is an important part of the day. You're a person, and we value you. So I think that's, oops. I don't know if that was the right music, right?
That's a kid.
Thank you for showcasing the family liaison. I think that assets and support for our children, sometimes we forget, and I know the board often is like, how is this working? We've hired family, and boy, they really do thank you for highlighting them. Teachers and staff really, you gave a snapshot of all the things that happens, and I just started jotting down just a couple things for each slide, the CKLA, that's a real life example of it in process. Kids having fun with the moon cycles. They're engaging in learning. It was fun. It was creative. Real life connections, history connections. Board President Kelly already mentioned the Black History Month, so I know that takes all of you, your team there, to pull that off. So I don't want to forget that you have a huge following here today too. So thanks to them. And then the other part, community engagements you've established them, and boy. Dr. Bailey, your first year as a principal, and Mr. Johnson, almost a few months now, right? You guys have formed a great team and really are forming a great culture of the building, and I think that's what we saw with that behavior slide, where kids are starting to get the culture and the expectations, and you also highlighted the various things we're doing with career and college, so kudos. And then, congrats to all of you. And
Thank you.
And Dr. Bailey, why don't we call the students up so we can at least take a picture with the children that just arrived?
Yes, so, Miracle Menifee. Jeremiah Brown.
Why don't we have the other two students that were here too, so we get as many kids in the picture?
Jeremiah and Alonde. Come on now.
All right, let's try this one more time. Wherever you want, Mr. Johnson.